In today's news, Wheatley plans high-level talks, including private meeting at JMC. CLINE pushes petition ahead of new acting commissioner. Dr. Vanterpool weighs in on police shakeup, and Youth Expo encourages young entrepreneurs to keep growing. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
We mash the gas, them bite the dust. We set the speed while they gathering rust. Inside we heart BVI come first. So please don't be fooled, cause they not like us. Once we mash the gas, them bite the dust. Cause we always fast and we always fuss. If you want real speed, you know who to trust. Somebody better tell them they're not like who? They're not like us. CCT fast, like CCT fast, like CCT just. Generosity, love, the community bad, like CCT fast with the 5G. Cause BVI is we.
Welcome to the Tuesday, November 18th edition of 284 News. I am Jaco Wooding Donovan, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for joining us. Governance reform will form part of discussions when Premier Dr. Natalia Wheatley leads a delegation to the Joint Ministerial Council in the United Kingdom later this month. The meeting will take place from Monday, November 24th to Friday, November 28th. The JMC meeting will include leaders from the overseas territories, the Minister for the Overseas Territories, Stephen Doughty, and other UK ministers. Premier Wheatley says the week of discussions will focus on matters relating to the BVI, including a bilateral meeting with the Minister for Overseas Territories, that is Stephen Doughty, and a meeting with the United Kingdom Overseas Association, of which he is president.
The JMC itself and other meetings on matters of interest in the Virgin Islands. At the bilateral meeting with Minister Doughty, I will discuss various matters including governance reform, including an update on plans for 6-month reviews and survey requested as part of a monitoring plan for governance reform. Security and Justice Transformation Program, which is the implementation of the Law Enforcement Review, assistance with institutional development and capacity building, the protocols for effective financial management, constitutional reform, climate change, and CARICOM and OECS membership. In my capacity as president of UCATA, I'll be chairing the UCATA Political Council meeting, where matters of interest to the UK's 12 overseas territories will be discussed, including territorial bilateral compacts, preliminary terms of reference for bilateral compacts, UK government charter, and other matters related to common OT issues.
Apart from the usual JMC meeting, Premier Wheatley says other meetings will be held with organizations to discuss issues on the bilateral agenda and BVI students in the diaspora.
In addition to the JMC agenda, my delegation and I plan to meet with members of the BVI All-Party Parliamentary Group, UK-based members of the financial services industry, meetings with UK government ministries and agencies on areas discussed in the bilateral meeting, other UK government ministries, departments and agencies in relation to matters on the bilateral agenda, such as Treasury and Hertfordshire County Council to discuss capacity building, meeting with other organizations in relation to issues on the bilateral agenda, such as the Commonwealth Secretariat to discuss institutional strengthening, students in the BVI diaspora. You would also be aware that the House of Assembly has concluded its committee discussions and agreed to table its report for public consumption on the Constitution. The report should be tabled shortly. I think the collective position of the House of Assembly members that the Virgin Islands should be seeking a constitution that provides for full internal self-government has been clearly and widely communicated. In my bilateral meeting with Minister Doughty, I'll propose dates for the negotiations to begin and agree on the process and program leading up to the negotiations. In the meantime, I will be naming the members of the delegation shortly, subject to a resolution of the House of Assembly.
Meanwhile, Premier Wheatley says the issue of security is a concern in the BVI, and he intends to hold a private meeting with the OT Minister, Doughty, on the sidelines of the JMC.
When we conduct diplomacy in the Virgin Islands, we don't necessarily discuss everything that we're going to discuss in the open. So there'll be some things that I'll discuss with the minister privately. And yes, security is a concern here. And of course, I think that's what would come up in our discussion. And as I said before, the House of Assembly has said that we are seeking for security to be transferred to the elected government. Most likely that's going to come up in our conversation as well.
Meanwhile, organizers of last week's protest march demanding justice for former acting police commissioner Jacqueline Vanterpool say their campaign is far from over, vowing to continue their push even as a new acting commissioner is set to assume office on November 18th. Organizers of the protest seeking justice for former acting commissioner of police Jacqueline Vanterpool say they are resolved in their fight and their actions did not end with last Friday's march. During Friday's march, they made it clear that they will not be silenced. A new acting commissioner, in the person of Richard Ulger, is expected to take up the duty effective Tuesday, November 18th. Bishop John CLINE has sent a warning stating that he is not easily discouraged.
After 30 years of pastoring, you've been through a lot. And not only pastoring, but being in the public eye, I've been crucified many times. And you can't kill me twice. You can't kill a dead man. So we're going to keep pushing. And as Shari rightly said, this is not a moment. By any means. So our next move, I'm going to tell you all now. If the governor insists on bringing Mr. Richard Ulger, we're going to sit in front of the police station. We're going to sit down there and we're going to block it. You understand what I say? If you think that this is a moment, if the governor thinks that he can get radio time, like Shari said, you remember we had radio stations, so you get on them. We will do a sitting in the police station. Because we are not going to stop until we get justice for Jack.
CLINE also encouraged persons to sign the petition.
We have the petition and we've collected many signatures. There are some of you online who have not signed the petition. Maybe you don't have the necessary technological advantage to do so. But we have the online ones, and we have some also the manual ones. We will put them all together. As you heard the appeal from Pastor CLINE that we want you to sign the petition. So wherever you are, you can come by Infinite Solutions. There will be one by Save the Sea. That's the places I know, or any place else. If you know where there can be put I will put them there and we will sign the petition and we will submit it to the governor by the end. We were hoping by the end of the day, but we don't have it together like we wanna. So we're gonna have to delay doing that, but he will get this petition within a week. The Premier and his team will be traveling to the United Kingdom. I'm not sure when that is. Soon. And he will have a copy of the petition along with letters that have been written to take as part of his representation in the dialogue for constitutional review and advancement. So all of this is a part of our stand. It's not just about Jackie. It's bigger than that.
Radio host Dr. Harlan Vanterpool says the public must recognize that acting positions are inherently temporary, addressing concerns over Jacqueline Vanterpool's removal as acting police commissioner to make way for UK national Richard Ulger. Host of A Look at the Community on ZBVI, Dr. Harlan Vanterpool says people in the territory need to understand that anyone holding an acting position is intended to be temporary. Vanterpool made those comments on the backdrop of the post of Acting Commissioner of Police, where Jacqueline Vanterpool was removed from the position as of Monday, November 17th, to make way for foreigner Richard Ulger, a UK national. During the program on Saturday evening, Vanterpool said a person holding a temporary position means they can be pushed back into their substantive role at any time.
And I know we've had discussions about acting positions in the first place, what acting means. So someone holding an acting position is only really intended to be temporary. Tell me, Mr. Skelly, if you would disagree with me, but that's the impression that I get. Until you're confirmed to a post, you're there. So it means that you could be pushed back to your substantive post, but you're holding an acting position, right? And oftentimes you don't fill the substantive post right away because that person is acting. But if they were confirmed to that post, then you can fill their substantive post. From what I can recall, I can remember that it was clearly stated that way. And we've been hearing different things about what's going on for a couple of months now, right? I have to take it at face value because that is what we were told.
That's what been coming out.
That's an acting position, right? And acting position while the whole application process was being done. Now, my biggest concern is in the process, is that I don't know the details, and the public may not know all the details. What we have heard is clearly that the application process is still ongoing. And so therefore, what seems a little funny is that there's a move to remove someone who's acting, send them back to their substantive post to replace them with somebody else who will be acting for some period of time while the application process is still ongoing. So, it finds it a little strange to me that we're removing one person that's acting, putting another person that's acting. We're still going through an application process and we still can't make a decision on who we're going to put there as the person.
Dr. Vanterpool stated that it is not the first time that someone in the public service had to return to their substantive post when someone fills that position. However, he said if the BVI had fixed this problem and had the relevant provisions enshrined in the Constitution, this situation would not be happening.
I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, categorically, every time something like this happens, and remember, we've had many persons acting in positions throughout our entire civil service, public service, whatever you want to call it, who have also acted and had to return to their substantive posts when the acting post that they held, someone has been confirmed to it. Some of the cases they act and then they are eventually confirmed. So you have both scenarios, okay? And we take to the street, all depends on what we're representing or what we're dealing with. I'm going to say, if we fix once and for all and get a number of things in our constitution, reconstituted in our constitution, that gives us the authority to deal with a number of these things, then the conversation about that we're having this week, we will not be having. Hear me again. If we get to the constitutional process and make the necessary changes or get the necessary things put into a constitutional process so that we can eventually get them in our constitution. Once they're placed there, then we shouldn't have that issue that we're just dealing with by matching. And I could be yelling and screaming and saying it, but I'm saying it quietly. It's for us to understand and not be out there saying things without context and not understanding what is the crux of the matter. Okay?
Up next, Youth Expo encourages young entrepreneurs to keep growing, and major CLOUDFLARE issues takes down X, ChatGPT, and other sites. These and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, son.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man, forget you.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Start the year off with more. More speed, more downloading, more savings, and more fire. CCT Fire Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second, super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI, CCT Fire, and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Young entrepreneurs were urged to seize new opportunities and help shape the territory's economic future as the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports hosted its third annual Youth Business Expo. More in this report. Government leaders and business mentors over the weekend rallied the territory's youth towards entrepreneurship, stressing that their ideas and innovations remain vital to national development. Minister for Education, Youth and Sports, Sherry De Castro, encouraged young business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs to remain committed to growth, noting that the government stands ready to support their ambitions.
So I want to encourage every young entrepreneur here this afternoon. Your ideas are not too wild. Your timing is absolutely not too early. And your dreams are not too much. You are clovers, just like Kristen, each of you, resilient, rooted, and ready to spread wherever your imagination takes you. And so I want to encourage you, and I want to implore you, because your government will stand with you, we will invest in you, and we will create opportunities to mentor you, to train you, and to open doors so your visions can take form. We will build a landscape where youth entrepreneurship is not an exception, but an expectation.
Meanwhile, Minister for Financial Services, Economic Development and Digital Transformation, Lorna Smith, reinforced that message, reminding participants that young entrepreneurs will feed the economy in the decades ahead. She encouraged them to develop strong business plans, think long-term, and take advantage of the government's grant program, which offers up to $20,000 for startups or businesses disrupted by unforeseen challenges.
Think about your future as entrepreneurs. How will you continue to grow, innovate, and integrate your work into the broader BVI brand, locally, regionally, and internationally? And that is what we are doing. The future of this economy, it lies in your hands. So stay focused on your vision, continue to develop your ideas, and remain disciplined. You are building not just your own success, you are contributing to the growth and strength of our communities.
Keynote speaker, Mrs. Rikima Turnbull-Keynes, Managing Director of Higher BVI, delivered an energetic, youth-focused address, using familiar lingo and expressions as she motivated attendees to pursue entrepreneurship.
As an entrepreneur, you also create job opportunities. You stimulate economic growth by bringing ideas and services to the market. Your ventures help develop local skills and empower others to pursue meaningful careers. By taking risks, you set a foundation for innovation that others can build upon. Your success inspires those around you to explore their own potential and ambitions. Ultimately, your contributions strengthen the community and support long-term economic resilience.
The Youth in Business Expo featured showcases and networking opportunities designed to connect young entrepreneurs with resources, guidance, and community support. On the international scene, a widespread technical issue at internet infrastructure giant CLOUDFLARE caused disruptions across large swaths of the internet on Tuesday, November 18th, rendering popular platforms like X, ChatGPT, and Canva inaccessible. Visitors attempting to access the affected websites were met with error messages indicating that the pages could not be loaded. The errors were traced back to a problem with CLOUDFLARE, a company that provides the underlying technology for a massive portion of the internet. CLOUDFLARE acts as a critical backbone for countless online services. Its core functions include protecting websites from malicious cyber attacks and ensuring they remain online and stable during periods of high traffic, such as during major sales or news events. When its services experience an outage, the ripple effects turn out to impact millions of websites and applications that depend on the software. The services were restored by the early afternoon. Up next, Team BVI builds momentum with dominant scoring at CONCACAF, and TROUGH leaves unstable conditions across the Virgin Islands. These and more stories when To It for News returns.
Life is unpredictable, and when a storm is coming, having a plan can make all the difference.
We need a plan in case of a hurricane. Everyone, let's work together on this.
This is where we go in case if we need to evacuate. This is safe away from flood zones.
I will use this room as our secure space if we have to stay home.
Don't forget to save our local contacts and also our off-island contacts.
Right, and we need to have a plan for our pets too. They can't go to shelters, so we need a safe place for them.
In case we get separated, we should have a meeting spot. How about the community center?
That's good, and we can leave a note there too.
I feel safe knowing we have a plan.
With a plan, you're not just preparing for the worst, you're taking control of the situation. A message from the Department of Disaster Management and 284 Media.
Just give me my service.
Yeah. Just give me my service.
Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Welcome back and thank you so much for sticking with us. In sports, the British Virgin Islands national football team is riding high after back-to-back victories. More in this report. The British Virgin Islands is celebrating a strong week in football after securing 2 consecutive victories, including a commanding 6-0 win over the Bahamas and a hard-fought 2-1 triumph over the Cayman Islands. In the dominant match against the Bahamas, the BVI's goals came from Jovan Splat, Kyron Samadi, Kristen Javier, Luca Chalwell, and an additional strike from Splat. The second fixture saw Splat score once again, while the Cayman side recorded its own goal that helped lift the BVI to victory. Defender Akaija Williams said the team entered the Cayman match with determination.
We showed resilience and strength to come back and win 2-1, and that's just to show a testament of how hard we've been working and to show how much we've grown as a team. Because normally in games when we go 1-0 down, it ain't really end well for us, but to show that we've grown stronger and to be a better BVI. That was the first game. And the second game, we dominated from start to finish, winning 6-0 against Bahamas with 3 goals from our big striker, Jovan, 1 from Luca, 1 from Christian, and a debut goal for Kyron. And yeah, overall it was a good game overall, and we played really, really well.
Head coach David Perez credited the squad's improved mindset heading into the second game.
We changed, I think, is the most important, the mentality of the players. More aggressive, more intensity, and I think they believe in he can go win the game, and that is the most important. We don't change a lot of things because only have 2 trainings, 3 trainings before the games, and it's so difficult to change.
With momentum building, the BVI squad now turns its attention to an upcoming match against Anguilla. In weather, lingering moisture and instability left behind by a passing trough will keep the Virgin Islands damp, with forecasters warning of a high chance of showers across the territory. Conditions are expected to improve slightly into the night, decreasing to about 4% or moderate chance of showers as the trough weakens. Winds blew from 8 to 40 miles per hour, while seas remain at 4 to 5 feet. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:27 a.m. And that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for updates at 284media.com, like us on Facebook at 284media, and 284BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I am Jacques Wooding Donovan, and I will see you again tomorrow. So have yourself a safe and enjoyable evening. Goodbye.